Want to make sure my audio is great because as always, there's a slight delay as always, but I also want to make sure that my audio is great and you all can hear me fine. So hello, welcome on in. Well, I'm testing my audio, making sure you can hear me fine. Yeah, okay. So my audio is picking up. All right. So hello everyone, again, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. Hope you have your tea, grab a seat, and get into the vibes today. If this is your first time joining us, or at least being here for one of my readings, what took you so long? Where have you been? And if you're here for this particular topic that I'm going to be doing a reading on, you should probably also check out my underwater alien live that I also did as well. Share that out as well. For all of you coming in, just give me a like just to help out with the algorithm, or give it a thumbs down. You know, even though I don't know why you just got in here, this is spreading negativity for no reason. But today, you see the thumbnail, you see the title, you know, today we are going to be doing a reading on the Rainbow Serpent myth. And the reason why I said if you're here to see this reading, you should probably also check out my underwater alien reading, is because that is what inspired me to do this reading today. I was picking up on something about felt like it was a couple of different alien species, not really picking up on if there was something actually there under the water that was alien like, but maybe more so like, or living, but maybe more so like technology or some kind of connection or ley line or something like that to them. But after I finished that reading, I kept getting like some downloads about the Rainbow Serpent in Atlantis in particular. So that is something else you can look forward to this week. I will also be doing a reading on Atlantis. I don't know why those are coming up for me, but I'm here to do a reading and see, kind of like go down the rabbit hole and see what I get. I'm not overly familiar with the Rainbow Serpent story or myth or whatever anyone wants to call it, the creation story. I just kind of know it's, I want to say it's an Aborigine or an indigenous folk tale where, you know, they say the beginning of life started with a snake. I know it's also something similar in, is that Celtic lore as well? Because it's called, it's one of Loki's children, I believe, Jormungandr. I believe that's how I heard it said on God of War. So I'm just going to go with that. Jormungandr, something like that. So I know they might all stem from the same thing. And I think it's pretty interesting that a lot of different ancient civilizations kind of have something dealing with a big, large snake. I think with the Mayan, they have Quetzalcoatl. I think in Chinese folklore, they have something too, but I don't know the name. So don't ask me. I'm not even going to butcher it. And again, I've told you about Jormungandr, and then the Rainbow Serpent is the other thing. So I want to see why this download was coming up for me and what it could be pertaining to in regards to the whole underwater alien reading that I did. So that we're just going to get into this and see what I get. Now, if you are new here, please take your eyes to the bottom of the screen here where it states that all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. This is a conspiracy theory reading. So do not take this to heart. This is all alleged. This is all for fun for me. This is me just trying to get into this and see what I get. I may not, more than likely, it's not even I may not, more than likely I am not going to explain something well, because this is something a bit out of my realm, a bit out of my depth, but I wanted to try this reading and see what I get. If you are all okay with that, if you're okay with tarot, you're okay with talks of magical and mystical creatures and other religious aspects or spiritual aspects, we can continue forward. If you are someone who doesn't agree with any of this, you do not like tarot, you do not like other forms of religion, it doesn't, you know, it goes against your creed, it goes against your boundaries, as simple as that, this is your moment in time to click off, okay? Because I'm going to get into this reading and see what I get. With all of that being said, please give me grace as I go through this reading, because again, this is something I am not overly familiar with. So if there's something that I'm stating that's kind of like obvious, if you're someone who is more familiar with the rainbow serpent tale or myth, whatever, again, give me grace. But I'm going to see what I get here. I think the first question I want to ask, as usual, I usually try to tap into the energy of the situation, but I think I should probably see, is there any truth to it? Like, was the rainbow serpent a real thing, or was it, or maybe I should ask, was the rainbow serpent an alien, since it came up during that reading? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's start off with that. I do not need all of that. Let's break those up like so. Is the rainbow serpent an alien? Okay. It's nice to know we have the Judgment card here. The Judgment card is making me think of what I was getting in that underwater alien reading of just like afterlife kind of thing here. And the Three of Wands coming up in reverse, usually to me, that's kind of like picked a destination, a point of travel, working towards something that you started planning within the Two of Wands. But with this coming up in reverse, it's kind of like there's an issue with how to get there, or the point of like there's a blockage or something, or you took a wrong turn somewhere or something like that. The Five of this coming up here, and it's coming up in reverse as well. So to me, I'm getting buy-in, but maybe more so along the lines of like not being able to buy in. The Five of Disc is typically like I almost think of it up there with like the Three of Swords sometimes, the way the energy comes through. But the disc can also mean, it doesn't have to mean money, it could be time, it could be resources. What is the underlying cards here? We have the Ace of Swords, okay, the Moon, and then the Hierophant. And then, funny, the World comes up. In the World. Yeah, I think this is more so on the spiritual lines. I don't think this is alien like related, but let me look into this a bit more. Which one? Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this deck. Oh, I caught it in my leg. Okay, I have two here. So we have Dancer Movement, yeah. And then we also have Grandfather Presence. And then what else here? Why did Father and Actor come over? Okay, let's try this again. Let's see. Rhythm maker, tempo. And the underlying, okay, spirit guide we have here for the underlying. We also have mineral, solidness, and then words, writer. I think it's interesting we have the rhythm maker coming up in reverse with the dancer here. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm not calling you in, because like the judgment card, if you don't know, or if you don't do tarot, or you don't have some kind of like religious background at all, the judgment card is usually, it is one of the more spiritual cards in the deck, kind of like up there with the Hierophant in a sense, which is here as well. The judgment card is dealing with, you know, the last days of judgment, how you get called home, blah blah blah. But with this coming up in reverse, it's kind of like, no, not really calling you home. Is it more so, I don't know why I'm getting something like completionist kind of thing here. Because again, in that previous reading I did with the underwater alien reading as well, I was seeing something about rings too. And I hate to say it like this because I just have gamer talk, but it's just kind of like you going through levels, and it's like, okay, I'm not forcing you or calling you through this. It's levels that you have to complete, and once you complete them, or it's like completion, it's just like, okay, now you start to kind of, I don't know, see like the bigger picture, or you can meet me, or I pull you out of the cycle or something like that, so you can move on to do something else. Like you've leveled up, move on to something else. Let's see what else I'm gonna get here. Woo, woo, woo. Easiness. Destruction of the environment. Is it more so like it's like yeah, like a spiritual guardian of maybe the earth? Or is it like the soul? Is that's kind of like how we see the soul of the earth that I'm picking up here? Intellectual talent. What I'm getting so far, if I'm understanding this energy, is more like the rainbow serpent is the physical manifestation of like maybe the world's guardian, or is spirit, essentially. If you believe everything has like an energy or a soul to it or something, that's the form the earths take. Or as far as we understand it, that's the form that we understand it as. Okay, let me see if I can hone in on this a bit better. Let's see why the rainbow serpent is attached to planet Earth, essentially. Okay, here's my other two cards. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Cups here. Ten of Cups usually gives me like family, home matters, but it's coming up in reverse. So it speaks to some kind of disharmony, disruption on the home front. The Seven of Discs also coming up in reverse, and notice this is also a woman like caring as well, but it's coming up in reverse. So it almost feels like to me like things not coming to fruition. Things not coming to fruition, not able to quite reap yet. And then with the Queen of Wands here, so the Queen of Wands, my core cards, I usually read them as like a person, place, or thing. So this could be an issue that is coming up. This could be the issue or the reason why things are not working. You know, it could speak to somebody who is very selfish or, because, you know, the Queen of Wands is usually someone who is very beautiful. She can be very headstrong. Could also deal with things of like magical matters as well. Someone with like a fiery personality. Think of your Sagittarius, your Aries, your Leos. Again, someone who could potentially be self-centered, things like that. Very passionate, but they may not have all of the knowledge or the energy to take action or whatever the case may be. It's also another thing here with that. And again, with the Ten of Cups coming up in reverse, it makes me think of home, family matters, but it's disrupted or there's some kind of disharmony here. And then we have the Empress coming up in reverse. Something coming back to the past. Something, again, I'm getting a lot of feminine cards here too, because if you didn't know, the Empress is also related to things of like maternity, motherhood, things like that, birth. It could be a birthing of an idea, you know, a place, a creation, a thing. It could actually speak to life, but it's coming up in reverse here. And then with the Six of Cups is usually thinking, to me, it could be children, things of the past. And then we also have the Nine of Swords here. And usually this speaks of like mental barriers or mental hurdles that you can't kind of get over. It speaks of things of like depression. What's another one? Maybe stuff like anxiety. I'm trying to think of another one. Disappointment. If I had to guess off of the energy that I'm getting right here, again, the Rainbow Serpent and the Earth seems like they have some kind of like shared connection or relationship of whatever the case may be. I'm going for the case of this reading, I'm going to say it's at least like the physical representation or what we have understood as a physical representation of like the Earth's guardian or something like that. So to me, it feels like it's like the father figure to the Earth or something like that, like, or the partner to the Earth. And it's kind of like, I'm a bit upset with the way things are going right now on the planet because of, again, maybe it's us, the human species, the human race, or just kind of like how things have progressed on the planet where people maybe aren't waking up, people aren't treating Earth kindly, people aren't, yeah, I feel like it just kind of feels like waking up, unplugging a bit, not being so self-centered, and it seems to kind of just be a repetitive thing. It's something that seems to have come up time and time again, at least. Like, this creation does not work for me. Oh no, wrong one. Let's see. Let's get into this a bit more here. See, celestial, boundless. It almost feels like, am I about to say this right? I don't know what they call it, symbiotic relationship, but parasitic. It almost feels like one leans on the other for things here. So if Earth isn't doing well, neither is a snake. If the snake isn't doing well, it's going to be reflected on the planet. Yeah, see, look, we also have the hero here. Yeah, this kind of makes me feel like protector, singer voice, but they don't have a say in what's actually going on. It's just, I'm the protector. And then we have the magician here with conjuring. We have that father figure, the authority coming up, and then the teacher here with knowledge. Something you don't know. Something that you are refusing to know or to pay attention to. Instinct here as well. Healer. I think I want to pull these archetype cards this time. Yeah, I would definitely, I'm gonna stick to, I feel like the rainbow snake is what we interpret as the physical manifestation of like the earth's protector, in some like spiritual sense, I guess you can kind of say. Okay, so we have Pioneer here, but it did come up in reverse. So I'm going to read the shadow attributes. It reads compulsive need to keep moving on. We also have Mentor here. Didn't we get something about that with the teacher? It did come up in the upright. So I'm going to read the light attributes, dealing with passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Again, it almost makes me think it's some type of gateway too. I wouldn't be surprised if Rainbow Snake plays into some spiritual aspect with us as well, in regards to like us crossing over, after death situation. Because I feel like it plays a role in that as well. Because again, the mentor role, the passing on of wisdom, the leveling up I was getting, the cycles or something like that. Like you're going through the levels of the snake or something. Okay, and I had 3 cards flip over here, so I am going to read all 3 of them. So we have Poet coming. So didn't I have something about a writer last time? Shadow attribute turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. What is it with music? You know what? Okay, no, I think it's a vibrational thing. That's what it is. I think the music is coming up to represent vibration. I think it's something dealing with the singer here as well. I think it's something about raising vibrations, raising the frequency of something. We also have Warrior here, but it's coming up in reverse. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Is that supposed to be us? Because we also have the hero here earlier. I keep getting something about like a fighting spirit too. And then we have healer. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Yeah, I feel like the rainbow snake plays a couple of different roles here. I'm picking up on something dealing with the afterlife, you leveling up, you moving on, is also being probably like the guardian or the protector of Earth. And then I also get something dealing with potentially like raising vibrations or like, I don't know, frequency or something like that. And it's supposed to be like a I want to say symbiotic relationship. It's supposed to, you know, I feed you, you feed me kind of thing. It's funny these cards are coming up because this was some of the stuff I was picking up on, but I didn't know how to put it into words just yet. Okay. Now that I think I've kind of honed in on what the role is, why that's coming up, and it's kind of becoming clearer why I was getting something about the rainbow serpent in my underwater alien reading. Let's look into what purpose do we have in helping in, I guess, like in this relationship, this ecosystem or spiritual ecosystem that's going on that we may potentially not be aware of. How do humans play into this? Four of disc. Okay, what's something about not paying in? This four of disc, the five of disc in reverse, they both came up in reverse. Okay, but now the the seven of disc is coming up, right? Then we have the, excuse me, the Prince of Swords coming up in reverse. Four of disc, Prince of Swords, Separatists. What role do humans play in this? Huh? We have the Princess of Wands coming up underneath here, the Four of Wands in reverse, and the High Priestess. I do not think it's a friendly kind of relationship. Inventor. Ingenuity. What are we supposed to be working towards? That's the bare straw I'm getting here. There's something we're supposed to be working towards or helping create or do or assisting with. Oops. Hunter tracking. Prince of Swords kind of give that energy too. Single-minded target. I'm gonna go in and with like single-minded focus. Tracking hunter, inventor. Okay, this, I think it's going above my head. Let's see what this last card I'm going to get here. Actor, performer. I feel like there's a, yeah. To me, when I see actor, performer in this particular reading, it just makes me feel like there's a role that you're not playing. There was a role that you was assigned. You were supposed to have been doing that, but you've kind of reneged on it. You haven't upheld your deal of the bargain, essentially. I was getting something like this along the lines in that last reading, too. And then we have water, flow, writer, words. Is it supposed to be like story? Is there some misconstrued story? Some kind of lie that's been told? I don't know what this is I'm picking up on. Okay, I had a bunch of cards just fell on the floor. Hold on. Okay, let's see what these are. I have the Kings coming up in reverse. It says, for the shadow attributes, it reads, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. If they don't sound like us. We also have Martyr, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. We also have Gambler. As you can see, it was in reverse. So I'm going to read the shadow attributes, relying on luck rather than hard work. And then we also have something with artistry here. It's coming up in the light attributes. Expressing a dimension. I just want to highlight that again. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses. Inspiring others to see life symbolically. This artist card makes me feel is resonating that writer, the words, there's something that's supposed to have been told, that was supposed to have been shared, that was supposed to have been passed down. Again, something like maybe we know, but I don't know, maybe we're not paying attention to it, we refuse to pay attention to it, we're ignoring it. And also with this Martyr and the King card here, it makes me feel like humans have kind of stepped outside of their boundaries of what's the, I guess you can say the ramifications of the deals or the contracts was. And instead we started feeling like, what do my Southern Oracle card deck say? Like getting too big for your britches, essentially. You are stepping out and stepping into something that you have no business, and it's throwing off. There's repercussions to it, essentially. You're throwing something off because of your selfish choice. And it's kind of like instead of, I don't know, like getting back on course, I guess you can kind of say is the right word. You're choosing to just wallow through this blindly and just let the cards fall where they may, without a care for your actions, essentially. I don't know what this is. That, again, I don't know what exactly this could be pertaining to, what this promise or something is. I can only imagine, again, it's something that we were here to do, to work on, to provide. We agreed to do. If somewhere along the lines things fell out of harmony, things were not working as it should because somebody decided to go against the grain or decided not to do it anymore or play part. I definitely would say if it definitely feels like we need to raise our vibrations in some kind of way. And there is some like spiritual awakening that needs to happen that we've gotten away from. I'm gonna tell you the best analogy I have. It kind of feels like if we were, say it was, you know, the natural order of things, you know, the cows eat the grass, we eat the cows, and then our waste produces the grass, and then the cycle repeats. It kind of feels like somewhere in that cycle, we decided to stop providing the return and the investment, and we're holding up and blocking everything because we decided to not care or nurture for the grass anymore. And so now we're wondering, well, why aren't the cows, why don't they taste the same? Why aren't they being fed? You know, why are they looking malnourished? Why don't we see any more cows? And it's like, because you didn't uphold your side of the bargain. What did you think they were going to eat? It kind of just feels like we stopped something, and in the process it's throwing the whole ecosystem, the synchronicity of stuff out of whack. And I think that's probably what I was supposed to be honing in on. I think there is some truth to the rainbow serpent thing, but to me it feels more so like it's the guardian, or like the the watchful eye or something of Earth. Mm. And now, you know, I just noticed something here. The gambler, the light attribute, it came up in shadow though, remember? The light attribute reads, willing to follow intuition even when others doubt you. And we have the high priestess here, and this is usually something very strong, you know, strongly tied to intuition, mystical kind of energy, moon. If you know people are into that, you know, a lot of things is really tied into the moon. So it's funny to me that it came up in the shadow attribute and not the light. And the high priestess also came up in reverse. So there's something dealing with like our intuition, or again, something dealing with on the spiritual realm of things that we aren't tapped into, or that we're not upholding, or we've thrown something out of sync, out of whack here when it comes to that. And notice playing also why the Four of Wands was coming up here in the, what was the other one we had? Was it Ten of Cups coming up in reverse? Those are like very home, very family, very personal kind of cards. And it would make sense why those would be coming up in reverse if it's supposed to be an ecosystem of sorts and one rely on the other. But again, something has been thrown out of whack, out of proportion. Something isn't being upheld. What does the artist say? The shadow attributes, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others. Okay. Trying to see if there's anything else I'm going to pick up here. Because that artist and inventor, you can't tell me they don't have something to do with one another. I don't know, maybe a better reader could, or a more spiritually tapped in reader could probably decipher this, because yeah, that's all I'm getting. I don't know what else I'm supposed to be understanding from this. I may look back at this reading and be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's why I was getting that. But right now, looking at this, I'm like, only thing I'm picking up on is that I feel like there is, again, some truth to the whole rainbow serpent tale story, myth, whatever you want to call it. I believe it is a spiritual guardian, so to speak, of the earth. I think also in tune or in tandem with that, there is maybe some kind of agreement with us in the rainbow serpent, and we have I've reneged on it or something. And so it's not like the friendliest relationship right now. It's kind of like, it's kind of like how you treat that one child of yours that you know always gets in trouble. You're like, I have high hopes because it's my kid. I want to see them doing better. But you also know, like, I just know you're prone to effing up. Like, I'm not holding my breath one way or another. It's kind of like that. And again, I do think it's something with the rainbow serpent, and kind of like when it comes to afterlife or spirituality, in a sense of like raising your vibrations, leveling up, going through those different frequencies. Because with those singer and the musician, was it the drum maker or something like that, the dancer cards, it's kind of like, you know, once you raise those vibrations, once you go through those levels, you kind of move up, you learn more, you see more, and it helps with something in the end, not sure. But I think there's also something here where some kind of story, some kind of agreement, a contract was broken or lost along the way as well. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, let me know if you like this reading. Make sure to give this reading a thumbs up if you did. If you know someone who will also be interested in kind of seeing this reading as well, make sure to share. If you would like to see more readings like this, conspiracy, or, you know, I do celeb readings as well, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, making sure to select it to all so you can see the next time I upload. Again, the next video I will be doing a reading on is, ooh, I'm going to mess up their names. Hold on. Because I do this every time. I'm going to mess up the names. And I already did that once. So I don't want to get cussed out again because I already messed up their names one time already. I know it's Jung. Is it Jung So-min, Jung Haein, and Jisoo, I think. If I butchered that again, my apologies, but that'll be the next reading I'm going to do, and that is on Thursday. I plan to do that early as well because, you know, I got to get it in with my family. Oh, actually, I had that scheduled for late. I might change it, I might not, but, you know, spending time with the family, because here in America, we are celebrating Turkey Day. So yeah, with all of that being said, make sure you stay tuned, and I will see you in that live reading on Thursday. Time to be determined. So with all that being said, you all have a great night or day wherever you are. I thank you for coming here and for watching this video. And again, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.